Shout out to Mooloolaba Surf Lifesaving Club for celebrating 100 years of keeping this beautiful beach safe. You're a magnificent club upholding the best of surf life savings traditions, and I was honoured to join nearly 400 people marking this milestone last week. Also, I'm delighted to also celebrate and shout out to Mooloolaba Rotary Club, who recently celebrated 50 years of serving our community, also making our community beautiful and embodying the Rotary motto of service above self. On other matters, the phrase that best describes the state Labor government is crisis, chaos and cover-ups. On the Sunshine Coast, under this Labor government, assault numbers reached a 20-year high last year, and latest trends indicate that 2023 figures will eclipse that according to reported government figures. However, the state government refuses to come clean about real police numbers, boots on the ground, on the Sunshine Coast, and instead quotes phantom approved numbers, which is very distinctly different from actual police numbers, as approved positions don't answer a 000 call. Only real police do that. There are about 86 police stations in Queensland with fewer actual police than when Labor took power 8 years ago. And there are many areas on the Sunshine Coast really facing rosters that aren't being properly filled. But this government is covering up the latest Queensland workforce reports. They haven't released the latest reports. Premier saying it's not true. Well, it is true. It was due out in September last year, and yet 8 years later, 8 months later, we still haven't seen the real numbers for police, nurses, doctors, and the government still talking about approved but not actual numbers. I talked to one business owner in Nambour recently who witnessed someone getting kicked in the head in the middle of the day in the centre of town. It's not funny. To the Labor ministers and members who think this is funny, this was a business owner in the middle of town, in the middle of the day, seeing someone having their head kicked in. And when that person called police or called 000, they tell me it took nearly 40 minutes for police to come, and they said the police are thinly spread and are hard-working, and they don't have enough to respond in the middle of the day with someone being kicked in the head. This government has presided over a weakening of laws. They've hidden the workforce data. They're still hiding it 8 months after it was due to be released. And then there is also the Working for Queensland survey, where we know this government has a pattern of bullying and toxic culture in the way they treat the public sector.